One of my friends is a YouTuber and he's got several 100,000 subscribers. I think he just broke 400,000 subs. And one of the main lessons I learned watching his channel grow is all of the growth, or most of the growth, happens all at once. Meaning everything in this life really takes the form of an exponential growth curve. So you're working, you're seeing no results. And just when you think that you're going to be a failure, everything hits at once. We've been seeing it actually with our own content. I was grinding, and if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know, we were grinding for years. And when I first started, it took us about a year to hit 1,000 subscribers. It took us another year to hit 10,000 subscribers. So all of that grinding up in our first year, we could have quit. I could have been like, oh, there's only 200 people watching, which, by the way, if you've been here since the beginning, love you. Thank you for being here. We could have quit right then. We could have been like, oh no, YouTube's not a good platform for us. But then we wouldn't have gotten the 10,000 subs, and then 10,000 the next year, and then 10,000 the next year. And now we're sitting here with 100,000 subscribers. And I could say that we could go from 60 to 70 by the end of the year. Or I could say we're going to go from 60 to 600, because when you never quit, crazy stuff happens. For instance, I was just in LA. I was hanging out with my friend Dennis Yu, who is founder of Blitzmetrics. He was a Yahoo executive and just a content creator. He's been keynoting with people. Like, he was just keynoting right after Richard Branson. Richard Branson did the speech last year. Then this year it was Dennis Yu. All right. I met him because I had him on my podcast. If I had given up on my podcast, never would have met this amazing guy, this amazing friend, who's then provided me with so many opportunities to just promote our courses. We started doing some co-promotion over in LA. We went to Universal Studios because we wanted to ride the Mummy ride. Come on, who doesn't want to ride the Mummy ride? But we figured if me and him did some kind of course promo where I sold Twitter 10K and we combined it with his personal branding course, then maybe, just maybe, we could pay for our vacation to Universal, right? We started out making a video, and we could have quit after one video. We could have been like, oh, you know, no one's into this. We made no sales off our first video. Nobody's into this. You know, this vacation's a failure. Maybe we should not book the flight. Maybe we should go home. But we didn't do that. And what I found is top billionaires, top businessmen, and really just top performers in general don't quit. So what do? We booked the hotel. We booked the flight. We paid for annual passes for Universal Studios before we even sold a single course. Then we went to the airport and did a Facebook Live. 7-minute Facebook Live while we were waiting for the plane. First 4 sales came in 7 minutes. So basically $150 a course. We're already close to paying for this trip. Then we did what I call a content storm, which is, I'm addicted to Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I post 5,000 times a day. So I did that. He even gave me access to his account. So I was tweeting as him. I was tweeting as me. I probably posted 50 times in the period between the Facebook Live ending, us getting on the plane, and the plane taking off. I tweeted about 50 times, all right? Never quitting the entire time. Never really even worrying how the tweets would do, because I know, and I had that confidence that if we didn't quit, we would hit. If you don't quit, you hit, all right? If you don't quit, you hit. That's what I knew. So we posted the tweets, and by the time we landed, dozen sales, more than paid for the vacation. And that was before we slept in the hotel, right? We each had our own beds, and actually our friend Mark was there too. 3 people in a nice suite. Actually, by the time we landed, Dennis even upgraded the room because we were so hyped. We went from normal room to suite just from not quitting. Then we go to Universal the next day and we start filming, and more sales just start pouring in. So we ended the trip more than 10 timesing what it cost us to go on vacation. All right. Now, would I have even gotten to that point if I had quit making YouTube videos back in New York City? And I almost did, and I'll tell you why. So when I was in New York, I was a salesperson it was a digital agency. We did mobile apps. And basically it was me and a few other salespeople. And I had just started really making YouTube videos hardcore. And my content wasn't good. If you go back and you watch some of our videos from like let's say 2017. I don't know if that's the exact year, but something around 2017, I'm saying ums and ahs. There's no editing in the videos. There's no content quality. Like, we're definitely not out in somewhere like Red Rock. And I was just watching this video, and what happened was everyone's worst fear. My co-worker who sat right next to me found my videos. Found my videos, and he said, Alex, you know, these videos are a little weird. These videos are a little weird. And I could have taken that and run with that in my brain and been so self-conscious that I never made a video again. Instead, what did I do? I made even more content. I switched from making one video a week to one video that was public per day. And I was even documenting, I called it the Build a Business Tour. I was documenting, even just for my own use, 15, 20 minutes of content every day. And I just started stacking them up, never quitting and just continuing. And guess what? Now look at us. We're making video content like it's nothing. The content is flowing from me like it's water. And that is because we didn't quit. And you can see the results with everything you do. Let's say you're sending cold emails. You're trying to grow your business. You send 10 emails and you might say, oh, this is, cold email doesn't work for me. Well, you sent 10 emails, I know when I was trying to get a job in New York City, when I was first graduating from college, I had no connections. And the way that I was going to do it was cold email. I remember on day one, all right, I flew in, I had, what do we have? I had a few $1,000s because I was in commercials as a kid, and that was my entire savings. I spent it all on a trip to China before I even moved to New York City. So I'd come back from China, I had like maybe $1,000 to my name. And what did I do? I went right to a coffee shop, day one, sent 100 emails, all right? Woke up the next morning, no responses. You'd think the story would be like, oh, I came in, I sent 100 emails, and guess what? My dream job was right there waiting for me. Wow. But it wasn't. Then, what did I do? Did I wake up the next morning and be like, oh man, maybe I'll just go back to Florida. Oh, I'm broke. Maybe I'll be homeless. Maybe I'll go sleep on the street. No, I sent another 100 emails and nothing happened. And the day after, I sent another 100 emails, rewrote the script. By day 4, I booked a meeting. And the meeting I booked was with a funded startup. This guy was a director level at a company that actually did end up becoming a unicorn. I didn't even get the job there. And guess what? I could have quit even there. I could have quit right there. Oh, I'm never going to make it in New York City. This guy doesn't like me. This guy doesn't want to hire me. My goal was to get a job. But no, I didn't quit. And I asked him, who else should I meet? He introduced me to some of the founders of WeWork, which back in the day, WeWork was actually a good company. No one knew that it was like a Ponzi scheme back then, but I met some cool people there. They introduced me to some people. And within a few weeks, 2.5 weeks, I did have a job in New York City at a funded startup as an account manager, exactly what I wanted to do. And if I'd quit in the beginning, never would have happened. Never would have happened. So that's what I want you to fully internalize. I want you to internalize the exponential growth of how things actually happen. Okay? Realize that you could be grinding right now and you could be seeing 0 views on your videos or 10 views on your YouTube videos or 1 reply or no replies. And by the end, you'll be getting booked solid. So the way that I think about it, to bring it back to that YouTube example from the beginning, my friend Alex, who runs this YouTube channel, if he had given up at the beginning, he wouldn't be anywhere. But if you look back and you run the math, right? If year 1 was 1,000 and year 2 was 10,000 subscribers and year 3 was 100,000 subscribers, you could say, oh, it all came in year 3. But the way that I like to think about it is he was gaining like 7,000 subs a month, but you don't know that until you're looking backwards. So you could, let's say you make, let's say you hit it really big, everything starts running on all cylinders, and you make $10 million in your 10th year, right? Year 1, $10,000. Year 2, $10,000. 3, 4, 5, all the way. And you could quit in year 9. You could be like, oh, I only made $90K in 9 years. Then you get shouted out, literally shouted out by Joe Rogan. You get shouted out by someone. Now everything starts hitting at once, and you make your 10 million. So you thought you were making $10,000 a year, and you're actually making $1 million a year, and you would never have experienced that if you quit. That's actually similar to what's been going on here. So last few months, we have been getting everything we want, okay? I was a stand-up comedian in Hollywood. I did 100 open mics to see if I wanted to be a stand-up comic, and I didn't. but I didn't quit that whole time, and I actually learned a comedy skill, right? I learned an improv skill. And so that was nothing. Like I moved away from Hollywood. I was like, this wouldn't work. But I was writing movie scripts the whole time because I wanted to be a filmmaker. And it was, and nothing was happening for so long, right? We moved to Hollywood. My brother, Jacob, who I moved out there with, moved back to Orlando to be with his family. Like, he's done. He's out of the game. He's a coder now. He's respect. Respect like it's World of Warcraft, right? But I sat there and I was still writing scripts and I was still thinking about stories. And what did we land? All right. We just closed a deal for a nonfiction documentary. Literally like a month ago. Okay. I'm going to go out to Austin. I don't want to talk about it more because I only want to announce it once it's happening, but it's a documentary. And what I found is it's business related. So it'll work with this YouTube channel. It's business related. So we were able to get a corporate sponsor to pay for the whole thing. And it's related to our brand. So my co-founder, Robert, was completely on board. So never give up is what I'm saying. I sat there, there's 6 movie scripts in my Celtics. Celtics is the screenwriting program, nonfiction scripts. If I had given up after the second one, or even after the first one, we never would have been here. If I had said, oh, I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a YouTuber, or I'm not a filmmaker, I'm a businessman, this never would have happened. But because in the back of my mind, I was always like, how can I make a movie out of this? How can we do this as long form content? Then eventually we made it work. And guess what? You might be watching this in a couple of years and maybe we have 20 documentaries. I don't know. I'm thinking of new ones now because as we got this first one funded, now I'm like, oh, we could go out to India and do a little ashram or something. Maybe call it Email Ashram, where I'm teaching Indians how to get jobs in America. You know, that could be a nice 90-minute documentary. Now I'm thinking in documentaries instead of in fiction movies, right? And we're winning, right? I'm getting that dream of being a filmmaker because I stuck with it long enough and I didn't give up. I wasn't like, oh, you know, I'm just going to make YouTube videos only and we're going to regurgitate content and I know cold email is boring. Like, this is what most people do. Like, let's say you're a dentist, you're trying to make content. You think nobody wants to hear about dental content. Dentistry is boring. But some dentists go out there, and I was just watching this video the other day. It's just somebody grinding teeth. Someone might say it's boring, but this dentist put rock music behind it, and it's a great video. It had 7 or 8 million views. And I know those are real views because I watched this video like 5 times. I was super hyped. So if this dentist had given up on the 10th video or 100th video because his content was boring, he never would have gotten these massive views. And more importantly, he never would have found the content type that worked for him and was actually able to grow his business. So what I see when I think about never quitting, I always have internalized the fact that things should be fun. And if they're not fun and if you don't want to do them, something is broken. So when this dentist is out here making these boring videos, or when I'm actually, you saw the plateau on my channel, when I'm out here doing these cold email videos over and over and over and over and over again, I could be like, oh man, let me start taking Adderall, you know, let me start snorting cocaine, you know, so I can get freaking hyped and then I can pretend to be hyped for you guys. Instead, I'm like, all right, how do we actually make these videos fun? And so now if you watch our cold email teardown videos, what am I doing? I'm talking about other influencers and I'm talking about their content. Like we just did a cold email teardown on Stelly FD, who is another cold emailer. We did one on John Buchan. We're going to do one on Cold Email Wizard. And I'm just having fun. The reason why I'm calling these guys out is because I felt a plateau in my skills and I wanted to increase that by digging into what their campaigns were. And so instead of just digging in my own time and then coming out and making boring videos for you guys, I just filmed the research process. We get the content out and we have fun. So that is what I really, really want to dig into your head. If you're bored at work, if you hate your job, if you're bored with your entrepreneurial tasks, the thing that will excite you is right around the corner. Use that feeling. Don't run from that feeling of I hate my job. Don't run from that feeling of this content's boring and I hate it. Instead, lean into it and think about how can I make a joke or how can I make the type of content that's fun? Look where we are. We're out here in Red Rock because, you know, I felt like I wanted to come out to Red Rock, right? I was bored of the same office content, same as you. And so we found a content type that works. And it's the exact same for you and for your business. So never give up, never quit. Exponential growth looks like a flat curve for years, and then woo, all the way to the top, all right? Flat curve for years, and you go all the way to the top. That's what I want to get across to you. Never quit. If you like this video, please hit that like button for the YouTube algorithm so that it spreads out. Leave a comment down below. Do you have a similar story of not giving up? Would love to hear it. I get so excited when I hear anyone using our content to better their lives. I really love that. If you've made money using any of our things, let me know down below. If you're still in the process, let me know where you are. Leave a comment and let's talk about it. Subscribe for more videos like this. We do content 3 times a week. Sometimes we even do content more. I might live stream for 12 hours. Like anything could happen. So subscribe down below for more business content, more hype content, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.